Ironically, the government was forced to drop most of the charges against them when it became clear how much the FBI had broken the law in pursuing the group. As the 70s drew to a close, America seemed to be falling apart. Watergate, Vietnam, and recession had sapped the country's confidence. Most Americans seemed to want to put the trauma of the previous decade behind them.
I've walked by here a lot in the last 30 years. Nice little tree-lined street, pretty buildings. And never really gets much easier.
If you think that you have the moral high ground, that's a very dangerous position, and you can do some really dreadful things. You see it with terrorists these days, you know, who think that, well, maybe Allah's on their side or history's on their side or whatever. They can do some things that are just completely unconscionable. They can blow up the World Trade Center, you know, they can just do horrible, horrible things. The Oklahoma City bombing. I'm sure that guy felt that he was on the side of right. And, you know, there may be a handful of people who agreed with him. So that is a dangerous ethical position that we fell into. That was caused, I think, a lot by the Vietnam War. I think that the Vietnam War made us all a little crazy. It's the only way I can explain it.
When I was in prison, I'd been in prison for about 2 years, and I was put in isolation. And I wrote a letter to my father, and I said, either I'm really a great optimist and have just oceans of hope and joy, or I'm really stupid and too dumb to know what's happening to me. And I still feel that sometimes, because most of the movement that was committed to and really thought a revolution was going to happen in the late 60s, early 70s, has fallen by the wayside and said, oh, it's going to be eons and, you know, it's not going to happen, whatever. Not most, but a lot of people. I still have hope. I don't think we're going to have a revolution in 5 years like I did in 1970. But I definitely think that people never stop struggling and never stop waiting for the moment when they can change the things that make their lives unlivable.
I would do it again. I'd like to do it better, differently, smarter, but in a revolutionary context, if I didn't have my old parents and my young kid, I would certainly do it again. I would certainly want to be part of an emerging revolution again. It was a precious, precious opportunity. And I think we came close. I mean, I think the world came close to seeing those major changes, and I think that that makes a difference in terms of the ability of movements for change to emerge in the future. The fact that there's a history of resistance there's a history of white people's participation in resistance, I think makes a difference to the ability of that kind of resistance to emerge again.
Do you think it will?
I think it already is.
Why have you been so reluctant to talk about your own experiences?
My mixed feelings. My feelings of guilt and shame. These are things that I am not proud of. And I find it hard to speak publicly about them, you know, and to tease out what was right from what was wrong. I think that part of the weatherman phenomenon that was right was our understanding of what the position of the United States is in the world. It was this knowledge that we just couldn't handle. It was too big. We didn't know what to do. In a way, I still don't know what to do with this knowledge. I don't know what needs to be done now. And it's still eating away at me just as it did 30 years ago.